Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about Ursula, who is going to be receiving her rework, her C90, force level enhancements, and her brand new FR weapon. Not only that, but Cinque is also going to be receiving a rework, her C90, and her force level enhancements, while Freya, her LD weapon, is going to be reran, but she will also be receiving her force level enhancements. Now we're going to be going over exactly what changes these two characters are going to be getting. I'll briefly be mentioning a little bit about Freya for those who are curious to know about her, especially to any newer players. And then towards the end of the video, I'll let you guys know whether or not it is actually worth chasing for in the upcoming banners. So, let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for any of these characters that is going to be dropping with the Ursula Lost chapter. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Cinque, with her skill 1 and skill 2, which now sets all targets stun debuff to 1 stack. It no longer gets removed, which is a big plus, and we'll talk about that in the should you pull portion. Now she starts off with her LD buff at the start of a quest. Her additional attack now deals a 6-hit melee brave plus an HP attack 3 times. Her LD buff adds a 40% attack up, now totaling 60%, and when she attacks an enemy with the stun debuff, she gains a 30% HP damage up regardless of the stack count. It doesn't stack with the base effects. Now her EX now deals a 3-hit AoE melee brave plus a single target HP attack 5 times that deals 20% splash damage after each HP attack and now delays all targets, which is fantastic. Her Mighty Maiden buff, which is her EX buff, adds a 30% brave damage up and a 20% HP damage up. Her C65 got extended to 6 turns. It increases brave gain to 100% of attack and inflicts 4 stacks of the stun debuff to said target. It adds a 30% brave damage cap up. Now Ursula's rework to her skill 1 deals an HP attack followed by a 3-hit AoE melee brave plus a single target HP attack 2 times that deals 50% splash damage. Her skill 2 becomes a melee HP damage based on 100% of current brave 3 times. Her LD turns into a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 5 times that increases brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. Her EX increases party brave gain to 80% of max brave, then deals an AoE HP attack followed by a 4-hit melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that ignores defense and increases brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack. It does recover 1 use of her skill 2. Now her C65 got extended to 5 turns and it adds a 20% party attack up and a 20% party brave damage cap up. With Ash being her partner, her FR deals a 6-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals split HP damage. It sets party's brave to 100% of max brave and has instant turn rate. Now her FR conditions are as follows. You will increase the HP damage bonus by 15% whenever the brave is at least 20% of max brave at the start of turn. And you can also increase it by 30% whenever the brave is at least 100% of max brave at the start of the turn. So is Ursula, Cinque, or Freya worth chasing for in the upcoming banner? So we're going to start off with Cinque. Cinque definitely gets a very solid upgrade in my opinion. One of the biggest things is going to be related to the stun debuff that it inflicts, because with that debuff now basically not being removed at all after you use the plus version of a skill 1 or skill 2, it makes it easier for her to gain access to her follow-ups, which is fantastic. So now her follow-ups also got an upgrade, because previously it was 2 HP dumps if I'm not mistaken. Now it is at 3. So with the amount of damage that she can actually dish out, whether you use the regular version of a skill 1 or skill 2 or the plus version, because the plus version deals 3 HP dumps, and then like depending if you're using her EX or LD ability, you're practically gonna have that follow-up trigger on Cinque, which is why I have seen a good amount of JP players via videos use Cinque whenever they are whenever she is paired up with a character who increases the HP damage bonus at a very high rate. So having Cinque in the party to deal that great amount of HP dumps that she has in her kit wouldn't be a bad thing at all to actually have her, or to actually pick her up. Me myself, I'm actually highly considering giving her force enhancements, maxing her out at 30 out of 30, just because I want to take advantage of all of the HP dumps that she does provide. Now she does, for those who may not know, she does delay the target or targets depending on which ability you are using. She can actually launch with her EX ability, and she does have some pretty solid debuffs for what she actually has, even though the debuffs are very little, but the small amount of debuffs that she does inflict is pretty good, like the See Ya debuff, which is from her LD ability. Or actually, I believe it is from her follow-up attack, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Makes it so that it has a 100% defense down and a 30% HP damage resist down, which is nice. She also inflicts other debuffs like turn rate down, defense down. Of course, you have the stun debuff, which is what she really needs, and whatnot. But overall, though, Cinque is a very good pickup to actually grab from this banner if you are planning to pull on this banner. Now, before we talk about Ursula, I wanted to talk about Freya. For those who may not know, Freya is a pretty solid character now that she is getting force enhancements. For those who have been using Freya, because I have seen some global players who do upload their Freya runs and whatnot, or just use Freya in general, will definitely appreciate the fact that she will now be able to provide, you know, an increase in the force gauge with the speed passes, and then of course being able to increase the HP damage cap up with her skills, all that good stuff. But for any newer players, Freya is somewhat similar to Kain, for those who may have used Kain as a friend unit or anything, or just anything in general, like you use Kain. Freya is similar to him, but there are some major differences between both of them. So Freya is able to provide brave and healing to the party, whether it be via a buff with the HP regen that she provides, or just in general with a skill. She is able to provide either brave or healing, or both at the same time. Her EX buff prevents the party from KO if the HP is at least 50% of max HP, which is very solid and has come in handy for me many times. She does provide some pretty solid party auras via her overhead especially. And then finally, like I said, she's able to jump into the air. She's able to provide the party with brave and healing with her air attacks. Now her while she's in the air, she only deals 1 HP dump compared to Kain, who does 2. But again, Freya is able to provide brave to the party and healing at the same time, so that is like one of the key differences between both of them. But if you do manage to get Freya's LD weapon or just her overall kit, though, you're not really gonna get disappointed, because she definitely provides some very solid support, and she is able to jump into the air and have that consistent attack from the air with every field action. So she's not a bad pickup whatsoever. And finally, we'll go ahead and end it off with Ursula. Now, Ursula is not too bad of a character. I felt like they held back a tiny bit with the amount of HP dumps that, let's say, like her skill 1 got, and maybe her EX. I mean, I felt like they could have given her at least an additional HP dump, but you know, that's just me. I mean, I love my HP dumps and I can't help it. But at the same time, though, I can see why they held back, because I mean, like, she does other good things. I mean, like, aside from the damage output that she is going to be dealing now, I mean, like, she is able to practically battery the party with most of her skills, whether it be like a full-on battery or just like 20% of it. She does really well at her job, which is pretty much that. But aside from all of that, though, I mean, like Ursula, she's not a bad pickup per se, but I know that there are going to be a good amount of players who are probably saving up their like FR fragments or stones or just their resources in general for like upcoming BT units. So I can completely understand that. But for those who are considering pulling for Ursula, you do actually get a good amount of stuff. And then when it comes to her FR is not that hard at all to actually meet when she practically does everything within her kit. Now, of course, I will link down in the pinned comments the helpers that would actually help out with meeting the conditions for her FR, but I'm going to be naming a few that can actually help her out. Freya, which is actually in this banner, helps her out greatly because remember, whenever Freya is in the air, she does battery the party. And she could potentially battery the party 100%, so that way on your teammate's next turn, or if Ursula does any type of turn shenanigans, which we'll get into in just a second, then they will be starting out at potentially 100% of their max brave. So guess what? You're going to be meeting both conditions, so that's an easy increase to the HP damage bonus. Now, of course, the HP damage bonus won't be as high if you're doing the whole cam shenanigans, but I mean, like, you know, getting that pretty good increase with the 30% and then the 15%, it's not that bad. I mean, 45% is over now, is not too bad. You know, if you're not looking at the whole cam and whatnot, and like his shit and his FR shenanigans. But aside from Freya, though, there are a few other characters that I will name off, and again, there are more characters than this. I'm not gonna list every single one of them. Steiner's a good one if you do have his LD. Crow, who was in a banner not too long ago, is a good option to pair up with Ursula. You also have Rude. Rude was just released with the Divine Odin event, so I mean, you can easily use him because he does provide a very good amount of brave to the entire party with his skills. And there are other units that there are some units that are going to be coming up very soon, but there are other units in general that is able to help out with her FR conditions. Now, one thing that I did want to touch up was the turn shenanigans, and that is going to be via a buff from her LD ability. So with this, basically how it works is that after an enemy turn, or after an enemy's turn and a party except for herself member's turn is next, she actually jumps into the turn order. So she jumps in front of her teammates, so technically she would be acting first, which I mean can actually come in handy. Or if you're trying to build up the her FR gauge and whatnot, then I mean, like, it could actually come in handy as well. So I mean, you do have a little bit of turn manipulation with her LD buff, and like I said, practically all of her skills is able to pretty much like meet her FR conditions and whatnot. So is Ursula worth chasing for? In my opinion, I would probably hold off on her as of right now, especially if you're saving up for other characters or other upcoming characters like let's say Charlotta, Luna Freya, and then like characters afterwards, you know, past Luna Freya and whatnot. Then you know, if you're trying to be a little bit careful with your resources, then I would say you could probably hold off on Ursula. I don't think that her FR has been reran just yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see until a later date to see whenever her FR does get released. But whenever it does get re-released, she should be getting FR boards at that point, so her HP damage bonus percentages could increase, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But as of right now, in my recommendation, I would probably hold off. But if you are considering pulling for her, she's actually not too bad of a character in my honest opinion. So but yeah, guys, other than that, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.